just needed to come on here and cry and vent a little bit. I know it's all for a reason. I know it's not a bad thing. I know it's like a good thing because it just means I'm at like a different stage in my life. Just like after Dave, with needing to make new friends, and like that's one thing that I'm grateful that at least you're healing across the distance, because most people are so just like stuck and content with where they're at. And I know it's like the way that it's going to be because I'm still learning and I'm healing and I'm growing. So the friends that I make aren't necessarily going to be like the roots, right? They're not going to be the ones that stick around for the long run. They're going to be the ones that were there for me during the phase in life when I needed it, like when I was single and I was going out all the time, like Rachel, and going out dancing and hanging out as single girls with her and Kate. And I get that now is a new phase in my life. And like Rachel did come over yesterday and she hung out for a few hours. And it was nice to chat. And we did start watching the new Hocus Pocus movie. But I'm just having a really hard time because, and that's the thing, is I said I would trust if she wasn't meant to come over, right? So I'm just trusting that that's what's going on today. And I'm supposed to just sit in the field and let myself feel lonely and let myself feel the way I do. And I do have the placenta encapsulation and I know I can take it and I know that helps with hormones. But part of me also just kind of wants to sit in this because today is officially the day that I left Dave. I did not go home. Today was October 2nd. It's also one of his cat's birthdays, yesterday and today, October 1st and 2nd, and I have no idea how those cats are doing because they're with Sam. And I don't think I ever even like grieved the loss of them. It got to be really overwhelming having them. So saying goodbye to them and giving them to Dave was an easy decision, right? Like it was hard as fuck to like stand up for myself. Thank God for Carissa for that one, right? Not my problem. Not my fucking problem. So she's helped me a lot. But like, it's funny because I didn't even know this was gonna come up. I guess I do miss them. Like, I wouldn't be able to handle them. I have too much on my plate, but it doesn't mean that I don't miss those cats. That I don't miss snuggling with them, that I don't miss Simba like meowing all the freaking time and coming up to me and like smacking me in the face with his tail. And Mayhem was super cuddly and super snuggly. Such a good kitty, but he would pee on the bed all the fucking time, and it was so stressful. And he did that ever since he was a kid with Dave, right? Probably living in the chaos of Dave, and the poor cat was stressed as fuck. So Rachel did say she could come over later, but the thing is like, I feel like most of me just needs to like sit here and just let myself be lonely. And then I'll get to that in a second. But the peanut app. Sorry, that's my ADD brain. Um but Kate had made mention about coming over today, but she is literally a hot mess and she doesn't get it. She doesn't get that it's because of stress in her life, because of what she's putting herself through. Like, she already has fibromyalgia, she's on a shit ton of medications. She has been having like more health issues and she's been going to the doctors and like trying other medications, and it's like it's just obviously making things worse. She when she goes home, her parents are a hot mess, and she ends up getting sick every single time she goes to visit her parents or stays with them or whatever. She doesn't live full time with them. She lives out in the Queen Creek house, but that house is a shit show too. I think I told you there's like always arguing and yelling, and there's a little boy whose mom basically like doesn't take care of him at all. And then there's like another husband wife that live there, and then there's like a mom of somebody that lives there, and I don't know, it's so confusing and such a mess and so chaotic. Oh, and Kate was in the car accident, and like her life is just like that energy, right? But she was great for like the period of time that I needed her. Like, we needed each other for that for sure, and getting through the like, what's it called, the like narcissistic relationships, like with her and Brittany, me and Tanner. um and she was there at the birth, and it was like super magical, right? But I just need to remember she's not in the same like phase of life as I am, with waking up and healing and realizing stuff, and realizing like people that need to go. And I do have a couple more sessions with my therapist, and she does help me realize stuff. But at the same time, oh, sorry, I just jumped. So Kate was going to come over today, and she said that when she was at her parents' house yesterday, she had to go outside to vape, and she got eaten alive by mosquitoes. So she's like, she took a bunch of Benadryl last night. She's over at her boyfriend's. She is like covered in mosquitoes and mosquito bites, and doesn't think she's going to make it today. And she had a colonoscopy earlier this week, and I guess she's bleeding from that, and it's not normal, and like all this stuff, right? So that's the thing, is I need to realize like she's got her own shit going on. I can't fix somebody else. They have to want to heal themselves. And I did, try to get her to come here, to stay here, in the guise of like, hey, I could use some help, and I think it would be good for you to get out of the stressful environment and like see how your body does. Yeah, no, she's not like gonna take me up on it. She did say she would take me to my midwife appointment later this week. I just don't know if I want to drive yet. It'll be Lily's first time in her car seat. So I kind of want to like hang out and back with her. And then Donna said she was going to come visit me this weekend, my therapist. And then I messaged her asking her what time, and she just said that she's not going to be able to make it because her garage door won't open. And I'm like, and her car's in her garage, and she's like, Jay has the other car in California, and my son has the other car. And I'm like, isn't there a manual release? Like, isn't that part of garage doors so that it's not a safety concern, or so that you can get your car? I don't know, because it's never happened to me, so who knows? But I thought you could lift them manually. Like, I thought there was a way to do that if it doesn't work, right? But so anyway, so she's basically canceling on me. So I'm just trying to remember that it's because I'm in a new phase of life, and I need to be making friends for this new phase of life. It's just freaking lonely, and it's the fact that it's hitting on the same day, which does not surprise me, right? Like, that's the way the universe works. That's the way this stuff works. Is like on those anniversary dates, stuff comes up for you to heal from again. That's the way it works, right? Like, I know this, I understand this. Like, if you didn't grieve properly, like, for the loss of a child, you'll end up getting in a car accident, and then you'll get Lyme disease. That's just an example of one client. Like, there's just, it is what it is, right? And it's been 3 years, literally, since I left Dave, so it's like the anniversary of, like, time to clear out shit in my life, and time to begin a new phase. and let myself feel lonely, let myself grieve. I never really truly did after Dave, you know that. There was one time when I was crying like this, and I didn't understand that it was grief until you explained that to me. And I was driving, so I was crying, and I didn't know why I was crying. Dave had just come to pick up his furniture, and I had to go pick up Callie from preschool. And I was crying, and I was like, you have to get your shit together. You gotta go pick up your daughter. And this was back when it was still Angelina, the teacher, the narcissist, who is now the 6th grade teacher at her school. Fascinating, right? But I was driving, and I was like, you have to get your shit together. You have to pick up your daughter. I so wish that I could go back and be like, no, you can message, you can say you're late, it's okay, she can stay past the time, you can just sit here and cry, and it's okay. But that was before I let myself cry, right? So I know that's part of it. It's just, and talking this out helps me cry, which is mostly why I'm doing this. So thank you, because I know I can do this video for myself, but I know that you'll also hold the space for me, so thank you. Because I feel like if I don't talk it out, it doesn't come out, and the tears just stay in, and they don't flow, right? So I'm trying to recognize it's just, it's so funny, it's the day, right? It is the day that I left Dave, that everybody's canceling on me, and the universe is like, nope, you wanted the opportunity to just sit in the feels. Here's your opportunity. You're gonna do it. You're gonna release it. And I know that's a good thing. I do. It's just, I literally have no friends right now. Like, none. Like, no one that I could call up and be like, hey, let's go grab brunch together. I mean, it is Sunday, Julia would probably do it. But, like, I don't know. I guess nobody that I want to go grab brunch with. Does that sound? And I know that's because of where I'm at, and because I'm healing and I'm growing. And it means that I'm sloughing off the old and its fall too, right? Like, how perfect is that? The old, my nose is like totally running. And I don't have, I guess I could use a burnt cloth if I can reach it. Is that, why not? Alright. Oh my goodness, sorry. My apologies. I know. So, I know it's like the trees thing, which was so great too. God, I love that. And I know it's just like the leaves or whatever are falling off the tree, and it's okay. It's okay to let them go, because there's gonna be like new and better coming, and it's part of the way it is, right? So I'm trying to just like let myself feel the feels and sit in them. So I can't remember who the first person was that suggested it, but obviously I did not listen to the message, because it usually takes me 3. This time it only took me 2, so I'm proud of myself. 2 times of receiving a sign for it to catch my attention. I am actually doing better, because the spiritual midwifery book, apparently Donna said she suggested it to me. I don't remember. I'm sure she did. She suggested a lot of books for me. And I did not read it. And then, we went past that 9/11 day and I still hadn't read it. And Kari, see, she's a great person too. She would be a good friend. She'd be somebody I'd go hang out with. She suggested the spiritual midwifery book to me again, and then I finally listened, and I was like, okay, I still haven't given birth yet. Obviously, I need to read this book, listen to this book on Audible. So I listened to all the positive birth stories, and I needed to hear it. I needed to read it. So that only took two messages for me to get the hint. So somebody had suggested this Peanut app, which is for making mom friends. And I can't remember who the first person was. It was just a couple days ago, too. And it's for meeting mom friends that are, like, close by you. And I hadn't joined yet after the one person suggested it. And then Alicia, my friend who moved to California and just had a baby a little over a month before Lily was born, August 14th, her baby was born. She re-suggested that to me, so I was like, okay, you need to listen, you need to download the app, you need to get on it. It's basically like a dating app for making mom friends, which I think is awesome, and I met Kate on an app, so why not, right? So I just joined it. I just created a profile. I know that's what the universe is trying to send me. Like, hey, time to make new friends, time to let go of the old. Time to just grieve and let it go, and it's okay to grieve, and it's okay to cry, and it's okay to feel all the feels and let them go, right? I need to go make myself some food, but I have one last update. So maybe I'll screenshot this and share it with you. Well, I'll just try to share it based off of my knowledge, my remembering. SB had texted me and I hadn't responded yet, and she texted me and I was holding my phone when the text came through, so I saw it right away. She said, hey, do you care if people are sending? And the funny thing is, I had a dream about this the other day. So this was the night before my midwife came. So she came on what, Friday? And so Thursday night, I had a dream that Wendy, my midwife, told me that she saw on Instagram that Tanner posted a picture of Lily, like, proclaiming that he was a new dad. And basically bragging, right, that he was a new dad. Which is just funny. Like, I could actually see him doing something like that, even though he's not a dad. He hasn't ever met her. He hasn't, like, even, like, taken ownership that it's his child. Another one I just want to go away, right? I'm trusting. Lily does not like negative energy around. She does not tolerate it. I honestly, I think something's gonna happen at some point. I don't think she's ever gonna want to meet Tanner. I don't. If she does, maybe like a one-time kind of a thing, and she'll be like, God, his energy fucking sucks. I have no desire to be around that. But she has no desire to be around negative energy. So I can't see her ever really wanting to be around him, you know? I don't know if that desire to meet her bio dad will ever come up. And if it does, I'll support it. It's fine. I know what his name is. You know. So there's people that know him that could, get in touch for her if the day ever comes. But I don't know. I don't know if I ever see it coming. Um, so, anyways, that was my dream. That he basically had somehow acquired a photo of Lily, which, whatever, I did take some people off of my friends. It doesn't mean that they didn't screenshot it first and share it. Um, I hadn't thought about it until they liked the photo that they were still my friends, and they actually were not friends with Tana on Facebook. Um, when I so I did end up deleting this person on Facebook and Instagram. I'm not friends with them. There's no need to be. Like, I went on a hike with them one time. That's it. Um, Never saw her again. So, two times. Okay, twice. Because she was there for the hike where I met Tanner, because that's how she met Tanner. And she was the one who I listened to about, oh, but he's such a good guy, and you guys are so cute together, and you guys totally, like, deserve each other, and she's the reason why I give him a second chance. I should never fucking listen. Like, I'm sure I'm not gonna judge. Anyways, not an opinion I should have listened to, right? So, anyways, SB messages me and I see it come in. When I told my midwife about the dream, and she's like, oh, wow, that's like, why would he? I was like, it was a dream. I was like, it wouldn't surprise me though. Um, and then we kind of talked about how she just doesn't respond to him. And I was like, yeah, I know. She goes, yeah, you know, if he says the same thing, I just don't respond. And I was like, well, she said, but I haven't heard from him in a while. And I was like, probably because he called and got his answer from Isabel. Like, no, they cannot just order a paternity test. And no, it can't be done without me knowing. Like, are you stupid? And I don't think he actually wants it anyways. I think he's just trying to look like he's trying, right? If I were to actually be like, yep, okay, here's your child, take financial responsibility, he would run to the hills and be like, no, I'm demanding a paternity test. And then he would find ways for it to never work out because, right? Because he knows deep down it's his and he doesn't want to accept responsibility. So, anyways, she sends me a message and says, hey, do you care that people are sending Tanner pictures of the baby? Question mark. He sent me that last night and is wondering if I've met the baby yet. And I responded, I said, I'd appreciate if you please do not respond to him in any way mentioning me or Lily. Period. Personally, I don't see why you would have to respond to him at all. And then I said, thank you very much for asking me first before replying. Because I was definitely triggered. And I was like, I should thank her because that was very thoughtful that she reached out and asked before just replying. And she said, so who do you think it is that's sending him pictures? And I said, I have no clue. I'm not going to, I was like, I don't know. I'm not going to stress about it. I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he's just completely lying right now and trying to trick you into sending him pictures of the baby. That's probably why he's saying, hey, have you met her yet? Because he knows SB would take pictures and then he can trick her into sending him pictures of the baby. So I 100% believe he's lying and is just trying to trick SB. And I said that. I said, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he's lying and he's just trying to trick you into sending him pictures. And then she did respond, and I think she said, like, I don't have it up, but she was like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised too. So, anyways, that's where I'm at. Thank you for letting me cry it out. I might be back on here if the need arises to cry it out again. I'm going to sit in all the lonely feels today. Jeannie will be here later at 6:30. She's gonna come hang out with Lily so I can get a bath, drink a cup of tea, read some book, get some sleep, basically have a little self-care night. And she'll come hang out with Lily for that. So I'm grateful for her. She's good people, good conversation, good energy. Lily's cool with her around. And I will say that the people that I have hired currently in my life, with like Jeannie and my doula and my postpartum doula, my doula and I had a great conversation yesterday, 45 minutes. I cried to her too. I know it's also like a postpartum hormone thing, but I also know it's a somatic trauma release thing. I know I've been holding on to this shit for 3 years. It does not surprise me at all that this is bubbling up on the date. Literally, October 2nd is the date that I did not go home. That was the date that I chose myself over Dave. This little one's getting hungry. So I'm going to feed her, and then I'm going to put her in the ring sling, and I'm going to go feed myself. I know this is how somatic trauma release works. And I don't see, now I'm laughing, right? Isn't that funny that like after you release you can laugh? It's so weird. It's such a cool thing, but it's so weird. I might just be insanely vulnerable and post this video on YouTube. It's long. It's long as shit. Who knows if anybody will ever make it to the end of this video. But if they do, it would be funny because I look like a crazy person right now. But that is the way somatic trauma release works. You have to release that, for me, the grief of losing, losing a husband, losing a family unit, losing what I thought was our life was going to look like, right? Like grieving the loss of, I thought that we were going to take trips together and travel with our kids and go to Sedona and go hiking and have date nights and go out to eat together and, have deep conversations together and take road trips and do things like Kauai and bring the kids and take them to the ocean and, like all that stuff together. Right? That was like the loss of like what I thought life was going to be like. So I know that's like a huge reason of why I need to cry and grieve and let it go, because I did not allow myself to do it 3 years ago. A year later, I broke out in the rash. 2 years later, I was a little Miss Traveling gal through September. I'm gonna have to look at my Amazon photos and see what I was doing exactly a year ago today, 2 years ago after leaving Dave. But I hadn't met Tanner yet because I met him in November. So that means I was probably hanging out with Lonnie about this time. I was definitely going out dancing. And this might have been the time that I was hanging out with Lonnie. Yeah, that is not good. I mean, he took me and we did some really fun stuff, like the kayaking, the shooting. That stuff was a blast. And the motorcycle rides. And the motorcycle ride out to Salt River. And hanging out on the dock and wearing his leather jacket to keep warm. And the motorcycle ride to the movies. We had some good times together, for sure. For sure. Just not, like healthy energy to be hanging out with. So I know, like, and look at how far I am this year thanks to this little one. I was still attracting that energy, and she literally had to come in to be like, Mom, no more. I'm not gonna allow it. You're gonna have no desire to hang out with those people, no desire to be around that energy. You're cutting that shit out of your life. Here's one for you. Here's a deep one. I don't think I told you this yet. I did kind of have this wonder, this realization. So, the 2 lifetimes ago, when she was my child with Dave, but I stayed with Dave. We weren't married, but I stayed with him, right? I didn't leave him. And we had Callie and Hobbs as twins in Hawaii, of course. But I had a good community, which is why I was able to stay with him, right? I don't have a good community here. Not at all. I mean, the people, luckily, now that I'm hiring, and I do, I have Addie and Aubrey, and who am I kidding? I do. I have an amazing community that I'm building. I do. I shouldn't have said that. And Jeannie and my doula and my postpartum doula, they're all freaking amazing. Like, I have a lot of help and a lot of support. It's just, it could always be more, right? But, so this little soul was a boy and decided to peace out when he realized he wasn't going to have a close bond with his dad, right? And I know I could never have stayed with Tanner, and I'm so thankful for you, like, the wisdom of, would you be trying this hard if there was not a baby? Because that's what really, truly woke me up to be like, nope, I wouldn't be. So why am I? I do wonder, though, if, and I know it doesn't matter because I didn't, because that wasn't our life path, but if I would have stayed with him, I have a feeling, and I get goosebumps when I say it, I have a feeling Lily would have pieced out. She would have been like, no, Mom, I told you I want a close bond with my dad. This is not my dad. I'm not staying here for this shit. I'm not dealing with it. Peace out. You do. I 100% believe that. You'll have to let me know if you get goosebumps when I said it. Like, I mean, literally, I think she would have pieced out of this life. So, I'm just grateful that I did listen. And yeah. She fell back asleep, but I do need to go get myself some food. So, I love you. Enjoy my craziness and my healing journey. Thank you for listening. Oh yeah, the 1 year mark. This was actually the weekend that I was at the Healing Academy at Halos, that I was doing that week-long healing course and learning Reiki and all that other fun stuff. How fascinating. That was like the first time that I had ever like had such a powerful meditation, like activated my third eye. My third eye was throbbing, where I saw that vision of Callie and Hobbs and their, like Callie and her husband and their 2 children, and Hobbs and his girlfriend, and me sitting with my significant other, just feeling his energy, right? I never saw him, but I could feel his energy there. And then being at our house and that knowing that I still had a 3rd child and being like, well, where are they at? And then the doorbell rang, and I went and I answered the door to this beautiful girl with this like long black hair and blue eyes, and I knew it was my daughter, Rachel, but Lily Marie Rachel Larson. Maybe, who knows what she's gonna decide to go as, like, when she's older. But knowing that that was my 3rd child, my daughter. So that was this weekend, the first year. And that as my third eye started opening, and as I started healing and releasing, then the rash started, like in October. And then fully shit hit the fan December 12th, was it? So yeah,